Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at 5. I'm Amanda Starantino in the WRTV studio. And now at 5, the biggest increase in coronavirus deaths in Indiana to date. And we have Mark Mullins joining us.
Good evening. I'm Mark Mullins, coming to you from a makeshift studio inside my home to increase our social distancing. And as the deaths and cases of coronavirus continue to grow, it's never been more important to exercise social distancing. A sobering day in the fight against COVID-19 in Indiana. The State Department of Health is reporting the largest day-to-day increase in deaths. The number is 14. Statewide, there are now a total of 49. There are an additional 374 positive cases for a total of 2,159. 964 of those are in Marion County. Lake, Hamilton, and Johnson counties are also in the triple digits, ranging from 114 to 146 cases, according to the state and Johnson County health departments.
You've got to be ahead of where you are.
More than 13,300 Hoosiers have been tested. Here's a clearer picture of the Hoosiers who have died from COVID-19. 2% are in the 30 to 39 age range, about 10% in the age 50 to 59 age range. A little over 22% fall in the 60 to 69 age range. 26.5% are 70 to 79, and about 39% are 80 or older. By far more men are dying from COVID-19 than women in Indiana, about 65% to about 35% when you make the comparison. Now let's take a broader view here. Worldwide, there are more than 838,000 cases and more than 41,200 deaths. About 3,400 of those are in the U.S. More than 6,000 Americans have also recovered.
And as we heard, the State Department of Health today reported 14 additional deaths in Indiana, but the state health commissioner also shared some important background info to help put that big increase in perspective. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is live at the State House tonight to explain. Cameron.
Good evening, Amanda. It was a wide-ranging virtual press conference today as state officials are trying to get Hoosiers prepared for the large cases as well as new loads of data that is headed to Indiana hospitals. State Health Commissioner Dr. Bach stressed that while the numbers are starting to increase faster, we are not even close to Indiana's peak. But because numbers are jumping so quickly, the state will soon be updating Indiana's total numbers of confirmed coronavirus cases twice a day versus the once-a-day report we are currently getting. As the public's attention continues to be focused on those daily numbers, Dr. Box took the time to help the public understand that when the new numbers are reported tomorrow, it does not necessarily mean that a person was diagnosed or even died today.
The results we post every day are based on when the data are reported to us at the Indiana State Department of Health. For instance, the deaths that were reported today actually have occurred in the 14 days prior to this, from March 21st to March 30th. The Indiana State Department of Health does not report death until we have a confirmed positive test for COVID-19.
So, in short, the information that we are seeing today could actually be already several days old. But what is happening on a daily basis is an increase in patients at Indiana hospitals. And that's why the governor has signed an executive order allowing retired doctors and nurses, as well as medical students and recent graduates, to practice medicine and treat coronavirus patients in Indiana. 24 hours ago, we told you 5,300 Hoosiers have already volunteered to get on those front lines of this pandemic. Tonight, that number stands at 11,000. The governor also gave a tease to an announcement that he says is coming in the next 48 hours about when and if school will be reopened before the end of the academic school year. The governor says those conversations are being had right now. Now, speaking of teases, here's another. The national conversation around face masks is continuing to grow right now. So, what should Hoosiers be doing? Should we be wearing masks? I asked that question to our state health commissioner, and you'll hear her answer coming up tonight on the news at 6. We're live at the State House. I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
We'll see you about an hour, Cameron. Thank you. As the number of COVID-19 cases is expected to rise, we are working to find out how local hospitals are responding. One doctor at IU Health told RTV6's Megan Sanctorum what they're seeing so far and shares their outlook for the coming days and weeks.
Doctors, nurses, and staff here at IU Health are gearing up as the worst could be yet to come.
I would say we are getting ready here to be seeing the peak, I think, in the next few weeks. So it's game time at this point.
Dr. Beeler with IU Health says they're keeping a close eye on supplies. He says at this point, they have enough gowns, gloves, and masks to meet the need. As far as ICU beds go, Dr. Beeler says they're still doing okay, but they are filling up pretty quickly. In order to meet the growing need, the hospital is adding more.
We are adding ICU-capable rooms as time goes on in order to make sure that we can meet the growing demand for not only ventilators, but very close nursing care and attention to patients who are critically ill. Most of them are older than 50. There's a few cases that are younger than 50, but those are the outliers.
He says the hospital has estimates in place, and with the current modeling, he says they should be able to meet the needs associated with a surge of patients. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
Well, we've reached out to other hospitals in the area to see how they're doing with supplies, and we will let you know when we hear back from them.
And COVID-19 is prompting a surge in domestic violence in central Indiana, according to advocates. The government is telling people to stay home, but for many, their home is not a safe place. RTV6 reporter Kara Kenny talked with a survivor who explains what you can do to protect yourself and your loved ones.
For many people, our home is our safe place, especially during COVID-19. But for others, it's the most dangerous place they can be. The stress, the isolation, it's a recipe for abuse and violence in the home. Just this week, domestic frustrations bubbled over on Manning Road on the northwest side. An estranged husband shot and killed a family friend and then himself.
Everybody is inside. They're stressed out. Things are happening.
Miranda Barnett is a survivor of domestic violence, and she's worried about a surge amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
When I was in a situation where I was a victim of domestic violence, I was actually trapped in my house for a short time due to some circumstances, and that was about 6 months of a nightmare for me.
Beacon of Hope Crisis Center in Indianapolis is seeing an increase in calls, but a decrease in the ability of victims to get out of harm's way.
Victims are afraid to stay and they're afraid to leave right now. So that's pretty tragic. They're limited because their abusers are home right now. So they may not be able to have access or easily contact us online.
Domestic violence in Marion County already occurs at a rate 8 times the national average.
Perpetrators, particularly in Marion County and other counties, we see high rates of alcohol abuse among them. Bars are closed, and so now they are drinking much more frequently, likely drinking much more frequently in the home, further increasing risk.
Advocates say neighbors can be a big help by reporting animal neglect and abuse.
It gives professionals an opportunity to check on the humans in that home.
Miranda says you should call your friends and family and ask how they are.
And don't just ask how they're doing, but pay attention to what their answers actually are. Victims don't want to say, oh, hey, I'm, sitting here being abused.
If you don't feel safe calling 911, reach out to groups like Beacon of Hope and the Julian Center, who can help you put a safety plan together. Advocates say while leaving now may not be an option, they can help you get a safety plan in place. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And we have included a list of resources on domestic violence in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com.
Fewer people are reporting child abuse and neglect amid the COVID-19 pandemic. According to new numbers obtained by Call 6 Investigates, the Indiana Department of Child Services hotline saw an 11% drop in calls comparing this March to March of 2019. It's a trend child advocates feared would happen as children are isolated with their families and not seeing trusted adults who might report abuse or neglect. Prevent Child Abuse Indiana is calling on neighbors, store clerks, postal postal workers, sanitation workers, and others to please be on the lookout.
Still ahead on the news at 5, pivoting and repurposing in the coronavirus age. The company used to making race car drivers safe is now working to keep us all safe and healthy. And have you made dinner plans yet? It's Takeout Tuesday. Giving yourself a break and ordering carryout could help save jobs. We have some suggestions coming up.
Clouds and cooler temperatures go hand in hand for today. We're at 43. This is the coolest day of the week. Look to the west. We'll start a new month and a new field shortly.
Ask your doctor about Pickray.
Welcome back. Racing season is on hold due to coronavirus, so one local and major manufacturer of helmets and racing gear is switching production to keep its workers on the job while working together to help keep people healthy. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez has this story.
Once called the Franklin Flyer, former stock car racer Steve Barnett is now Franklin's mayor. He turned to the racing world to get face masks for police officers and firefighters.
People need to take this serious. Don't want people to panic, but we want people to be careful.
Under normal circumstances, Indy-based Impact Racing would be at the peak of making race-related gear, like suits of all kinds. But it's turned its production lines to make 100% cotton washable masks.
We wanted to figure out a way, how do we provide jobs for employees, right? How do we continue that? And how do we service the community?
The company says these are not FDA approved or the N95s used by health professionals, but the masks can be used by the general public to block the exchange of droplets from sneezes or coughs to reduce the spread of an illness.
There's a side benefit to the people, the general public, wearing them, and one of the reasons that they're worn, you see people wearing them in other parts of the world frequently, is to actually train yourself not to touch your face. Of course, that is considered one of the largest sources of transmission is from your hands to your face.
Impact began making the masks on March 20th, with races being canceled or postponed, like the Indy 500 moving from May until August.
Being an Indiana-based company, it was really important for us to be a part of that community in a time of crisis.
And the city of Franklin bought 200 masks. 2 separate assisted living facilities in the city bought a combined total of 1,400 masks. They each cost $5. Impact Racing is also working on making face shields and gowns in the near future. A Pittsboro family-owned business is also working together and trying to answer the call for more protective equipment. Fleece Performance Engineering is known for manufacturing automotive aftermarket parts for diesel cars and trucks. The business started as a hobby between 2 brothers in a pole barn in a cornfield, and today their products are distributed nationwide. So when they saw states shutting down due to the COVID-19 outbreak, they knew some parts of their business would be considered essential to the automotive industry. But they also have a large engineering and warehouse staff and a 75,000 square foot space at their disposal. So they and their 50 workers got busy helping create face shields for healthcare workers. President and co-owner Braden Fleece says they grabbed material, threw it on their laser cutter, and designed a face shield that was then tested at Hendricks Regional Hospital. After good feedback, they sent the hospital 600 more, and now they're sending PPE across the United States.
Yeah, the desire to do something, that's kind of natural instinct, want to be able to help and utilize our employees and our resources. My wife's a nurse, my sister, or our sister is a nurse. And we're agile as a small business, agile enough to make quick decisions, and we repurposed an area of the floor space to do this, and within 48 hours we designed, tested, iterated, filed for a patent, and shipped 600 units.
By end of last week, Fleece was manufacturing 150 to 200 face shields per hour. They expect to soon make up to 10,000 on one shift using one tool. They are looking at bringing another tool online, making hundreds of thousands of these available by the end of next week. And if you or your workplace is in need of face shields, you can contact Fleece Performance directly by visiting their website. We have that plus an email that is set up just for distribution of these face shields. You can head to theindychannel.com and click on this story. If you know of any organization, businesses, or people who are working together during this difficult time, we want to share those stories. Send us a message at workingforyou@rtv6.com. This is also a difficult time for those in the food service industry. We Are Open Indy is a partnership between WRTV and our local restaurants to help them weather this tough time. Today, we turn the spotlight on Condado Tacos. They have locations in both the Mass Ave and Broad Ripple neighborhoods. The company had to furlough all of its servers, bartenders, and support staff. They hope to generate enough curbside pickup sales and delivery to bring some of those employees back to work soon. You can order online by using Condado's website, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. And another reason to grab some carry-out today, it is Takeout Tuesday. Today, we're also paying a visit to Flatwater Restaurant in Broad Ripple Village. They're open 11 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and will bring your food right to your car. You can find the menu on Facebook and Instagram. Think about picking up some gift cards from there, too. 50% of what you spend on gift cards is going into a fund to split evenly with the employees to help them get through this tough time. And you can find info about Condado Tacos and more places to grab takeout at our website, theindychannel.com. We have an entire list of restaurants and other businesses that are still open to serve you. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. Not as breezy today, but definitely a lot colder, Kev. I went out for a walk today and ooh, a little chilly.
And I'm going to show a wind chill map here in just a second, which will, hopefully it's one of the last wind chill maps that we'll show here for the season. So imagine that there's an echo to my voice now because you're looking at the canal. I mean, it's so weird, isn't it, to see it just so empty. Now today, that's the fire station there at Ohio and West Street. That's one of the coolest places, but that's where you get to paddle boats and all kinds of activity. But this will be coming to life as the temperatures get warmer. We get our separation, can still get out like Amanda did today and take a walk.
That is where I walked.
Is it? Okay.
And it was chilly. Ooh.
Not during that video. You didn't. That's drone video, by the way. Just want to point out we're in the final hours, less than 7 hours left in this month of March, which seems like it's been the year of March. We're going to turn the page, and it will be cool, but not as cool tomorrow, April 1st. Temperatures as we go to the weekend will be above average, and indications are the first couple of weeks of the month of April will have above average temperatures. Tomorrow we're below average one more day, but we begin to see some sunshine in the afternoon. Temperature steps up as we get to Thursday. Look at Friday's high. That at 65 degrees. I think we can handle that. There's the steel gray look to the day. You're looking to the north. Temperatures 45 in Bloomington. That's the warm spot. 42 in Kokomo and Martinsville, 43 in the metro area. Lots of clouds. That north wind continues to bring colder air our way. As Amanda said, much less wind today. Not nearly as gusty. That's a nice break. In the next couple of days, our winds will be much calmer. But with the wind and temperatures in the low 40s, here they are. The wind chill temperatures, what it feels like as a result of that cold north wind with all of that cloud cover. 36, the wind chill in Indianapolis right now. Cloud cover everywhere. There are a few sprinkles to the north and east coming backwards. This is a weird direction for us. Everything's spinning around low pressure, but look, it's moving from northeast to southwest, coming from Fort Wayne back to Marion, Peru, Kokomo. A couple of sprinkles during the evening hours. Tomorrow, temperatures optimistically make it to 50 or a little above for the afternoon high. That remains below average, but the wind will be light through the day. We should pick up some sunshine in the afternoon hours. As you look at your Thursday forecast, we're making progress. 60 degrees, that's your afternoon high temperature. Another dry day, and we'll string another dry day in there. Friday, 65 degrees, mixture of clouds and sunshine, and the wind relatively light. Here's your 7-day forecast as you check out the next 7 days. Temperatures in the 30s the next 2 mornings, but after that, we start to warm overnight lows into the low 50s by early next week. Temperatures, they climb as well. Friday, 65 and partly sunny. Then we start to stretch with at least a chance for some showers daily Saturday through Tuesday. That chance of rain 30 to 40%, but not expected to be heavy rain. And Amanda, you see what I see next Tuesday? 73 degrees.
I can't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. And it's going to be nice. Thanks, Kev. Well, he's a serious guy who deals in facts, but now he's not only the face of coronavirus information, he's the face that's helping one businessman roll in the dough.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
One of the faces that's become a household name during this pandemic is Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. He's part of nearly every coronavirus briefing from the White House, and the man is known for shooting straight and giving you the facts. Now a donut shop in Rochester, New York is making Dr. Fauci the face of one of its donuts, and they're selling like crazy. We contacted Donuts Delight, and they told us they're selling well over 100 an hour. The company lost most of its wholesale clients when the pandemic started, but the Doc Donut is helping the owner keep its staff and bakers employed. Right now, they're only selling in Rochester, but they are working on a plan this week to ship those donuts out of state.
Life-saving surgeries don't stop because of the COVID-19 outbreak. All new at 6, how hospitals and donor networks are working together to keep recipients safe during the pandemic.